Good morning, Dude Bros.
Good morning. Good morning.
How we doing, guys?
Doing pretty good.
Good. Had some good football last night. Good mood.
Yeah, we saw that. Well, good morning, everybody watching here. This is Sports Ball Talk. This is your live pregame show. We got Rista at the bottom, and as always, we got the dude at the top. We're going to dive into a little bit of sports ball talk, as it were. We got some games we want to talk about, and we might as well get right on into it about last night. I was really hoping Oregon was going to lose, but we both knew that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, I'd love to see the Gophers do something, but
yeah, they tried to hang on there in the first half, but the second half it got stretched out on them pretty bad. But in other news, I believe two Dude Bros called this upset in Louisville. I wonder which two those were. Cool. But man, I was really proud of Clemson. Dabo coached those boys up. They shut Louisville out in the fourth quarter, and they squeaked one out by a point. It was impressive. I was glad to see it. I'm glad we called that one right. Dabo is absolutely fighting to stay there. I think he wants to stay there. He's not looking for another job. He wants to pull a Saban and retire there. I don't think he wants to go anywhere else. He's got his footprint there, and he has showed everybody there that, hey, I'm still here. I'm still trying to make this thing work. Give me a couple years. We'll rebuild this thing. Don't kick us to the curb. And I like to see that because I like Dabo as a coach. But what were you guys thinking about what we saw Friday night?
Oh, I was just going pretty much the same thing you were doing. I liked what I saw from Miller Moss. He seemed to be a little bit more staying in the pocket, keeping his head where it needs to go, and checking down like he's supposed to. All right, you're not good. You're not good. Bam. And that's the first time we've really seen that start clicking for him this season. It's unfortunate that wasn't earlier on, or we would probably be having a completely different discussion on what the playoffs are, and Dabo would have zero worries and all that. So I don't know if that comes to just something that had to develop naturally with him, or maybe Dabo, like you said, this is the hot seat, and he's like, oh, I need to actually invest some time in these players. But whatever, it absolutely worked out for him there. And they've got SMU coming up, and then Kentucky. So we might see them being a relevant team, especially if they're trying to squeak Texas in here after another loss today. I mean, we'll see.
Real quick with the Dabo situation, just since you brought it up, maybe other people feel differently about this, but I think he's got enough goodwill there and won enough there that I think he would finish this season out anyway. But I do think this win for them helps him to stay next year. So I think he needed this if he wants to continue, for a few more seasons.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I think he really needed to show everybody, hey, no, I'm still invested here, and I think he's done that. I mean, we were talking about it. He was very much on the socials this week and making a presence, made sure to have that logo popping and talking everything up. So it's good to see. Like I said in the live show on Tuesday, I like Dabo. I felt like he needed a win like this just to prove to everybody, hey, we are still relevant. We still got it. We just need a little more time. So it was good to see for me. On the flip side of that, Oregon, I watched the first half of that game, and Minnesota was really trying to stick around, man. They really were. They got a couple crappy calls, some questionable stuff here and there, but in the second half, it was just a runaway train, and I didn't even really want to watch the end of that game, but it kind of is what it is with those guys, man. Dan Lanning, they've got the money and the backing. They're going to be relevant no matter what. They're kind of that Notre Dame thing. It's just they could be 0-3 and they would still be ranked somehow. It's just it's weird to me, but it's part of the deal. But anyway, moving on. Let's go ahead and get into what's going on today. I don't want to touch too hard on the Indiana game. I think we all know what's going to happen there, even though Wisconsin has been trying to, build the team around them and try to get ready for maybe, I don't know, recruiting or better for next year or whatever. But Hoosiers are one of the best teams in the country for a reason. They are absolutely lights out. Watching Mendoza last week have his Heisman moment, and he didn't play all that well the whole game, but when he needed to, he turned it on, man. And I think it's the same thing today. What about you, Rista?
I'd be interested to see how well they can run the ball against Wisconsin, because I got to give props to Wisconsin. That's the one thing that they do well. And Indiana does run like a balanced attack there. They do run the ball. So it's not like they just out there passing for days. So, but if I'm being realistic, I don't think that's going to matter all that much. I still think they're going to score, but maybe they'll slow them down for just a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see. What about you, dude?
Oh, I'm locked in for Indiana. I am anxiously awaiting Indiana and the Alabama Crimson Tide facing off in the playoffs, and we really, really get to see a great quarterback matchup, especially after a season of refining themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you, I'm already locked in for that. That has to happen, or my entire 2025 college season is disappointing.
Well, as a Bama fan, that one kind of spooks me because, I mean, you're talking about, as far for my money, the two best quarterbacks in the league right now. And if they're going head to head, that would be just that'd be a shootout. I don't know if I want to see that game. Give me USF or Memphis or something first round. Yeah.
No, I'll watch that game. And I'm glad that you said the first round there. I think that would be a second round game. And honestly, I think if either team loses in that, you've got a good argument that, hey, we're still the number 2 team in the country, even though there's more games coming after this, So
Yeah,
if it could work out for that to be the final game, record prices. I know we've had $5 and $6 tickets all season, but
well, that was something. We were paying attention to the ticket prices, and most of them the bottom fell out. We can touch on that as we go, but that was kind of wonky to see.
This game right here, the Indiana one, that'd be the 5th highest ticket price for this week, and that price is under $100 currently.
Yeah.
Which is wild, especially considering the rate of inflation and everything today, because I can remember when a $100, top 5 college football game, that's a good deal, and that's 20, 30 years ago. So
Right.
Really shows you the state of economy, sports fans, whatever. Or maybe everybody's already busted out all their money paying for 30 different streaming services just to watch a few football games.
Or groceries, because they're 10 times expensive as they were last year. I don't know.
Well, I mean, who needs to eat when you got football?
Hey,
Sure.
Let's see. Well, you got the Texas A&M rolling this year.
Yeah.
Gamecocks coming to visit. I feel like it's going to be a gnat in the ear for them. It's just
home game too.
Yeah, the 12th man. It's just South Carolina gave Alabama quite the scare, but at home, Kyle Field, Mike Elko at his best. Risa, you were talking up that quarterback earlier. Why don't you go ahead and run on that game for a second?
Oh, yes. Talking about Reed for Texas A&M, I think he is definitely one of the better ones. I don't think he gets enough talk right now, and I think it's as bad as I hate to say this, just because he plays for Texas A&M. If he was playing for USC, Notre Dame, or Alabama, maybe even, he would definitely be getting more talk than he should be. He's been really good, pretty mobile too. I know he ran all over some teams earlier in the year, so I don't see them struggling too hard, I don't think, with South Carolina today, simply because it's at Texas A&M. And I really like Sellers for South Carolina. I think he's a really good quarterback. And I hate to say this, but when he goes to the pros, and if he does well there, people are going to be asking, what team did he play for again? How were they not awesome? Well, it's because he had to carry the team. They just don't seem to have a whole lot around him this year.
Well, he's had some injury issues in the offseason going into this too.
But, so you miss practice time that way too. Hopefully South Carolina can keep this close. I just don't know if it's going to be today. I really think playing at Texas A&M is going to be the extra for them.
Well, they adjusted the line here. They moved it to 17.5 point spread, but they also increased the over-under. I'm still confident Aggies are absolutely going to cover that spread. The over being raised just that little bit is where I get a little bit of apprehension, because I don't know if this game is going to put up over 50 points or not. They might really hold them on the shutout. And Texas A&M is one of those teams that, they'll stack points, but they will never force points. Yeah. And that is one reason why you maybe haven't seen so much hype behind Marcel Reed because they have been trying to get some touches to a backup. They have been trying to get more rushing yards, and not just more rushing yards for their second, for their third string. They're trying to balance it out, develop players, which is a huge reason why I do like Elko. But taking 1,000-foot view, they're not developing people for a long-term program. You got to remember, more than half of this team wasn't this team last year. So they're still getting everybody together. They just happen to have the right cogs that are all clicking together and the right motivation. There's not really a foundation of long-term rapport on that team, which, to the point that you made there, Forrest, actually only reflects higher on them for their future NFL stock, because that's what you're looking for in a player. You're looking for a pluck, drop, prosper.
Yeah.
And Mike Elko, hats off to him. I think that he needs to leave Texas A&M and come to an actual SEC team like LSU, Auburn, Florida. I hear they're looking for some people, so keep the ear out, Mike. He ain't leaving.
No, he's dug in like a tick at this point.
I mean, they literally have the best stadium, or the best facilities for training. I told you they have the huge VR room, and you're not going to step down from that if you've got it, especially if you've got a nice buyout clause, a fat stack salary.
Plus the resources he has for players and everything else. It's almost second to none there, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, the resources are ridiculous that are pouring in there. They literally back up the money truck and just front door. Boop.
Yeah, it's interesting. There's several actually Catholic prep schools, high schools that have football programs that Texas A&M donates money to those high schools, but you have alumni from those high schools that are donating money to Texas A&M. And none of that's illegal, but I think if there was a magnifying glass put on there, it might become. But moving on.
Yeah, well, I'll put a stamp on it. I think Texas A&M rolls again today. I was iffy about the 20 or 19.5 point spread. Since the spread's gone down, I called them making about 17 points here, so I'm confident in that. The ticket prices, what'd you say? Where do they end up?
These ticket prices are the number 2 highest at $184.
Yeah, and they came down from almost 240. So
Right.
it's across the board, man. The Indiana game is, I think, is the only one that about stayed where it was. They were at $100 when we did the live show, and I think they're at 98 now. So interesting stuff. It's how that kind of crap correlates. But anywho, moving on.
I was about to say we got the 3rd highest game in terms of ticket prices right here.
Mm-hmm. And I think I was on an island with this one, and it might have been wishful thinking. It might have been just, no. But like I said in the live show Tuesday, man, I'm so sick of people talking about Notre Dame. I don't think it's deserved. As they've gone through the year, they have gotten better. I've watched them. They have definitely gotten more crisp. They've got a good coach, but they put a bad taste in my mouth at the beginning of this year, and it's not going to go away until they're out of the playoff picture. So, like I said in the live pick show, Pitt is going to win this game. Pitt's going to win. That's all I got to say. And if anybody wants to beat me up for it, go ahead. But Pitt's going to get them out. I'm going to send them my money truck. I will literally my check, personal from my, thank you, $100. Here's my donation to the program. But what are you thinking, Rista?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I like Notre Dame in this. Would love to see an upset here, but I do think that you're right that they have gotten better as the year has gone. They have a really good running game. I think they have one of the better running backs in the country. Maybe if you slow that down a little bit, you have a little bit more success if you're Pitt. But yeah, I just don't see it today. I think Notre Dame is going to go in there, and I think they cover.
So they've changed the spread on this. They've widened it a little bit. They gave the Fighting Irish 2 additional points that they expect to put them up there. with that widening spread, I really, really sincerely wish that I could jump on that hill with you and say confidently that Pitt is going to defeat the Fighting Irish. I would love nothing more. I don't think that's going to happen. Unfortunately, Notre Dame is a 2-loss team. They defeat Pitt here. They've got Syracuse and Stanford, I think, coming up. We're looking at them rounding out the season, 2-loss team, and probably ending up in the playoffs. So yeah. I very much would like to see Pitt win. On that token, Pitt wins. Coming up after Notre Dame, they've got Georgia Tech and then Miami. Oof. So that's really all you have to say there. They have a rough end to this season. So a confident victory over the Fighting Irish is basically the only real morale incentive they have to keep them going and for them to have a solid finish on the season. And that being said, if we were to see Pitt pull the upset of the day and then follow through with Georgia Tech and then follow through with Miami, Pitt's in the playoffs. I don't see that happening. I would put that at less than 5% chance of happening. I would put extremely hefty odds on that one. I would love to see it. And hopefully those odds increase. And we're talking about that next week as more of a possible than a hypothetical. But as it is now, Fighting Irish, I give this one to you. Pitt, come on. I got you.
Come on, Pitt. Come on, Pitt. Come on, Pitt.
And let me jump in there just real quick. Since you brought that up and just explained it like that, it's really kind of funny. Notre Dame, you see the logo, you lost your 2 hard games, and then you went out and you just get put in the conversation, at least at the end. If Pitt did this, no go.
Yeah. Nobody ever claimed there wasn't a bias.
Well, let's roll into that old Crimson Tide game. That is going to be your 2:30 slot on ABC. And, man, we owe them one, Rista. We really do. They stole one from us last year, and there was a lot of BS. We talked about that kind of in depth on the live pick show. But everybody remembers that Ryan Williams catch. It was one of the best catches of the year that was sucked out of the stadium by a BS call, by a stupid ref. I don't even know. I think he's the one that got sanctioned this year. So screw you, dude. But
he's banned. He's not coming back. And he also may be under that FBI investigation because they're trying to keep that under wraps because now we have over 200 individuals on that subpoena. What? What?
Yeah, I saw some interesting names on that, but we'll talk about that in a different podcast. Anyway,
let me jump in here real quick on this one. So Oklahoma, Alabama. Tickets for this are $35. And out of all the games, this is the one where the ticket price truly astounded me because you have, granted, it's not 2 top 10 teams, one's 11, but you basically have 2 top 10 teams for $35. And both of these teams have playoff implications. Oklahoma 2-loss, Alabama 1-loss. Either one of them rounds up the season. They're absolutely going. Alabama's probably absolutely going regardless at this point. And I'm just confused. What do people not want to see good football anymore, or what's going on?
Yeah, I had my buddy at work pulling up tickets for this game, and he was like, "Yeah, there's someone here for $58." And I was like, "Bull crap!" And I peeked over at the screen. I was like, "There's no freaking way that Bama tickets with Oklahoma coming to visit, them being top 15 teams at the there's no." And sure enough, so I don't know. Maybe somebody knows something.
$35 today. It's a drop.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe they're expecting Bama just to beat the snot out of these guys and get our comeuppance from last year. But I mean, if I was closer to Tuscaloosa, I'd sure as heck go get me a $50 ticket and go watch this game. But I think Bama wins the game regardless. The spread was 6.5. I think they cover that. The over/under is 46.5. I think they're over that. So I'd hate to think that Bama's got to score 46.5 points and they shut them out, but it's just
they tightened the spread to 5.5. Just wanted to jump in there real quick. Over/under still the same. Spread's 5.5 now.
Yeah, well, I think Bama rolls regardless. Ty Simpson's on fire. I like this kid. I'm still looking for that Ty Simpson-Theismann game. Mendoza got his last week as far as I'm concerned. He had his Heisman moment, and that was nice. It was good to see. Simpson's just played well. He played good against LSU, well enough to win the game. It wasn't a stellar performance by any means. There was mistakes made. I don't know. I hope today's the day. I keep saying that. I feel like I've been saying that for 3 or 4 weeks now. I'm waiting for Ty Simpson to have his Heisman game. Maybe this is the one, and maybe that's why those tickets are so cheap, because somebody knows Oklahoma's about to get their butt whooped. But what are you thinking, Rista?
Yeah, I like Alabama to cover here. I've been hearing some people talk about this game, of course, living in the area. But something that's been brought up is people talk about Oklahoma's defense is so good, and they are. But their biggest strength is their run defense. Against Tennessee and Ole Miss when they played them, I think one of those teams had around 320 passing yards, and then the other was 350 plus. So I don't know about their secondary as much. I think that's how you get them here. And Alabama can't run the football anyway, so how do you stop something we can't do anyway? So that's
I think Bama's running game's improved a little bit. I think definitely if you were to look at, say, week 1, week 2 of the Alabama Crimson Tide, I would say we're getting 100 rushing yards this season. Like that's how awful it looks. So don't discount them fully. They've steadily improved, and now they look like a college football team. So they could come out surprise you a little bit there.
When you average 2 yards per carry or under, you're not getting them through handing the ball off. Now they do other things to kind of replicate that. So, but my point being, I just don't think it's going to matter today if they don't have all the rushing yards, just because I hope that Ty Simpson kind of shakes off some of those minor mistakes that he had in the LSU game, and I hope they get it done through the air. So I have faith in them to cover today.
Yeah. I think if we can get Jam Miller going and he can just do enough to give, we got to set up the play action, right? We got to get Williams deep. We got to get Bernard deep. We got to get somebody back there. So I think if we can get a little bit of running game going today, make that play action, make those the guys in the secondary take that little half second and let our boys get behind them, it's going to be a rough day for them. So I'm with you. I think if they do get it done, it's going to be through the air, and that's what Ty Simpson's going to need to have that Heisman moment. So I would love to see it. I'd love to see some big numbers today out of them. And I just gash plays. I want to see the 50, 60 yarders, everybody just busting out. And if that happens, it's going to be a long, long day for Oklahoma. And I'm going to be watching this game intensely. So we will see. We owe them one. Roll Tide, baby. I kind of want to glance over the Blue Devils game. UVA's going in there, and they've got Duke as the favorite. So that's weird. I mean, I called the upset with Wake Forest because I didn't think they were as good as everybody was preaching them up to be. They definitely got put in their place as far as I'm concerned, but I don't think they're necessarily that bad either. Duke has been okay this year. As you know, it's not been big, flashy anything. So them calling the Cavs as the underdog is kind of wonky to me, but I am going to take the Cavs to win that game. What do you think, Rista?
I don't know, man. I don't like the way they started last week, Virginia. I don't never know what team's going to show up for them, which always makes me a little bit hesitant toward their spreads and stuff. So I could see them slipping up. And then again, you could have a game where they come out and beat Florida State type of deal, So they're a tricky team for me this year to really nail down. Maybe I'm the only one. I don't know. But that's what it seems like.
What do you think, dude?
I'm for Alabama. So I think they are not looking forward. I think they're absolutely Oklahoma is the game. This is the game. Then we look on there. Now, if I were to look at the other team and see what Oklahoma's looking at, yeah, they've got Alabama right here. Everybody knows that's going to be a game. And then they're like, oh, we got Missouri, and then we got LSU. So once again, this is a team that the latter half of the season is heavily stacked against them. And we could absolutely see them go on a 3-game loss streak to round it out. That being said, they beat Bama today. They're a relevant team, and then they have all the momentum and all the desire, and then who knows? We might see them squeak out one against Missouri, LSU, and suddenly we got an Oklahoma 2-loss team saying, hey, why are we not in the playoff? Alabama's got 2 losses, and we beat them. What the helly? So I think this game is going to be much more of a slugfest than people are giving it credit for. And once again, that is why the ticket prices for this game are baffling to me. I think at the most bang for your buck that you're going to get is from this game right here. And if I was in Tuscaloosa and I had $35 in my pocket, I might be wandering down to that stadium.
What do you think about the Duke game?
Oh, Duke game? I think I'm going to have to stay with what we did on the live stream there. I really, as much as I would like for this to be more of a shakeup, I don't think that's what's coming down the pipeline.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think the Cavs are necessarily worth anything this year.
Yeah, I'm with that. We're going to skip a few games here. There's a couple in between here and there, but I want to go ahead and get to that 6:00 game. Poor Gators going into Ole Miss. I tried not to beat them up on the live pick show, but I really feel like the Gators are going to go in here and try to keep it tight in the first half, and then Lane Kiffin's going to have a talk with his boys at half and go, hey, I've got a money truck backing up in my villa right now. I need you guys to – all right. And then they're going to just open it up, man. I think in the second half, this game gets really ugly really fast. I think Ole Miss turns it on in the second half, gaps them, covers the spread, and we go over at a 16.5-point spread and 53.5
Well, they
points.
changed it. It's 11 now.
Okay, so they tightened
this
it
has
up.
been the biggest line move out of all college football. Has been a 5-point shift for the Ole Miss Florida game. That's something
I stand on.
Yeah,
I still think they got it. Same story. I think they absolutely do the same thing, and maybe that point getting a little, or the spread getting a little bit tighter, does mean that Florida's going to try to keep it real tight in the first half. Yeah. But second half, it's going to be a runaway train, man. What do you think, dude? I mean, you seem pretty outspoken already about it.
Well, I mean, I think Ole Miss is a 1-loss team, and I think they are absolutely one of the top 5 teams in the nation. And I think they deserve a playoff berth. This is a formality. That being said, they cannot be looking too far forward. They have to focus. They have to beat the Gators today.
Yeah.
And then they can go on and be concerned with Mississippi State next.
I think that's right. Yeah.
I think that's all for them. Whereas Florida has to play Ole Miss today. Then they have Tennessee. And then they round it out with Florida State. So I think we're looking at hopefully a solid Ole Miss victory today. And then they'll also have an additional bye week before their playoff goes in there. And I see them going very far this year. And I'm excited about that. I think Lagway, I'm very sorry the season did not work out for him how he probably assumed that it was going to be. And maybe old Billy Napier promised him it would be. But Billy ain't there anymore. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 loss team now. Yeah, that hurts.
Oof.
But that being said, when you have that mentality, you can absolutely get joy from ruining other people's time. And they absolutely could do that to Ole Miss. They absolutely could do that to Tennessee. So they still have a lot to play for. I think this will be a great game. I don't think it's going to quite be the Alabama-Oklahoma game, but as I'm looking at it more and more, I think there is a decent chance that Ole Miss is not going to cover the spread. That being said, I hope they do. I hope they win handedly. But I'm retracting, and I will not be putting any money on this game.
How about you, Rista?
I'll give the Gators props on their defense has been pretty good this year. Offense, not so much, but Ole Miss also played, Georgia and Oklahoma, who have good defenses, and put up a lot of points on them. So I don't see that being any different today against Florida. I think they're going to cover here. I don't even know if they're going to struggle in the first half. I wouldn't be surprised if they went ahead and got some points early. So we'll see
I
with
like those
that.
vibes, Rista. I like it.
Yeah, but I don't see Ole Miss dropping here today, especially at home too. So no.
Yeah, Kiffin's a stud, man. I just, as a coach, on an offensive mind, I very good. There's a reason he was so sought after. I mean, he literally had half the country trying to suck him off to get to his, it's just, it was kind of funny watching him relish in all of it too, because he knew everybody was coming. In his interviews, every time he was on camera, boy, he just seemed like a ball of energy, just so happy, just a little glow to him, because he just knew that everybody was nipping at those heels trying to bring him over. And, to be fair, from what I understand, a couple teams almost did it. And that's where Ole Miss said, okay, how many, what's the loan? Yeah. How many donors? Okay. Yeah. And then
Don't we have a historical landmark we can sell or something? Come on, guys.
how much of the state can we sell and give him? Yeah, it was, I mean, he got what he got, man. He's set. I'd hate to think of what the contractual wording is as far as his buyout and this, that, and the third, because, anywho, yeah, I'm with you guys. Ole Miss rolls here. It's going to be a bad day for the Gators, especially by the fourth quarter. I think you're just going to see a bunch of blank faces on Florida's sideline.
I sure hope so.
Yeah, so that's where I'm at. There's a couple other games we could glance over. Ohio State's playing at home, but I don't see any issues with the Bruins. So I really want to get in, and I really want to talk about this Georgia game. This Georgia-Texas game is one that, God, man, people are really divided from the exposure I've seen on this game, from the people, the commentators I watch, all the sports shows, all this, that, and that, X, YouTube, everything. They are split down the middle as far as what they are saying about this game, why they're saying it about this game. I'll start out and say I think Georgia is going to win the game. I think Georgia very good defensively. I really like Kirby Smart. He's one of the best coaches in the game. He is, as far as I'm concerned, and for my money, the best defensive mind in the game. But Texas, man, when they flash and Arch is on, they look like an NFL team. It is scary how good they look when everything is clicking for them. And I can't say the same thing about Georgia. Even when Georgia's rolling, they don't look like the team that's unbeatable. They don't look like this team that's got no chinks in its armor, but they still find a way to win. And I think that's got a lot to do with Kirby Smart and his coaching staff. I think that has kept these guys in the game. They've put the players in the right positions to do a good job, and the players have executed well enough to get the job done. But that being said, Sark is pretty good coach too, and he's got a lot more money in his program right now, so he doesn't necessarily have to coach quite as well, but he's got the players are there in Texas to make this thing happen. It's hard to say anything bad about them after watching them the past 2 weeks. They just, when they're clicking, it is on fire. So I'll say this. I think Georgia wins this game. Like I said in the live pick show, I think it's going to be a 3-point game. I think this is going to be the end of a game field goal, or maybe even an overtime field goal win. But I don't see any version where either one of these teams blows out the other, makes the other one look bad. I think as far as personnel and coaching, they're very close. And if I had to give a personnel edge to it, I'd even give the personnel edge to Texas. I think their players are just a little bit better. I think they did a little bit better in recruiting. I honestly think when Arch is playing well, he looks a lot better than Gunnar Stockton, because I've been trying to get Gunnar Stockton on the train all year. Come on, man. Give me a full game of everything. Give me 4 quarters of where you just look awesome. And he hasn't done that. It's 2 quarters, 3 quarters. His team bails him out. He does something cool at the end of the game. It's been spotty for me. So if Arch is healthy, that shoulder's rocking, they got the little ejecties in there and he's rolling, this is going to be a long day for Georgia. But like I said, I think Georgia wins. I think it is a very tight game. I think we're going to see a lot of defense. And I'm absolutely not going to be able to walk away from watching this one. I'll probably want to stick around for the commercials just in case. What are you thinking, Rista?
So I'll try to hit on a few things that you brought up. So with Georgia, this year, them not looking like just the unbeatable team, I don't know if they would have won some of their games earlier in the season if Kirby Smart is not their coach with the same players. I mean, they let themselves get behind sometimes, or just way too slow of starts, and then they make those adjustments at halftime, and then they show that they're that caliber of team. But when you get into some of these other games with these better teams, you just can't do that. You can't dig your hole like that. Also, in this game, I don't know how much I believe of Arch Manning and how much he's improved over the couple of weeks. Maybe he has, and I think if he has taken some of those steps in the right direction there, I think they'll be better off in this game. His offensive line still got to hold up for him. Their defense, though, gets after the quarterback. So I think Gunnar Stockton's going to have a game today. But I think it's funny, like, earlier in the summer, if you would have said it comes down to the quarterbacks, who would you take in this? You would definitely have taken Arch Manning, I think. But I don't know if that's the case anymore. But today is another good day for Arch Manning and Texas to, prove that they're back on track, I guess, so to speak, coming in as preseason number one and kind of having the season that they've had since then. So I do like Georgia to win the game, but I think it could be a close one.
Well, this is the most expensive game by a large margin. You're paying over $250 to get the cheap sheets right here for this. And there's a reason for that, and that is exactly what you just said, Rista. This is going to be a great game. This is the game where every single play matters, because a little slip up here is all it's going to take for that to compound on the other side. And we're looking at a one-loss Georgia team that has to face Texas today. They get a cupcake game afterwards, Charlotte, and then they have Georgia Tech. And we really, really will see Georgia Tech's true colors come out in that rivalry game. That being said, you look at what Texas has coming up the map. They've got Georgia today. They got Arkansas next week. And then their rivalry game, they have Texas A&M. We're looking at a Texas must win this game to continue on, to stay relevant, to have any kind of playoff. The Bulldogs, they've got cushion. They could slip up and they could still make it into the college football playoffs. I think the most money that could be given to CBS or ABC or Fox, whoever happens to get that bowl game in week one, I'm just saying, money-wise, it makes sense to say, oh, yeah, Texas is going to win this game. I also believe in Arch. May have made a few T-shirts that say that. That being said, I am absolutely going to confidently come out. I believe in Arch. The Texas Longhorns keep Georgia from covering today.
Wow.
You heard it here.
Yeah, you're keeping with what you said in the last show. I'm with it.
I also bring up the fact that I really like this matchup, just like it was between Georgia and Ole Miss, because Lane Kiffin, great offensive mind, Kirby Smart, I think is one of the best in the business. I also think Stark is also probably on up there as far as offensive minds in the college game right now. And I think that in itself makes this such a cool matchup.
Yeah. And I think his mentality, and I'm not trying to be too over the top with the wordplay there, but his mentality is very Shark-esque in that it's very offensive. We have to keep moving forward. And you'll notice when Texas struggles is when they have just a little bit of a stall in that momentum. It seems to all kind of start taking steps back. There's no stopping point. We're moving forward. Then as soon as we stop moving forward, we're starting to get pushed back. And I don't know if that's just a trickle-down mentality from him, or if that literally comes down to the calls that he is making, and the play calling reflects his mentality as it develops. But either way, very interesting thing to note. And I think that Shark's hungry. He's going to keep swimming. He's going to keep fighting. Maybe there's a little bit of blood in the water. Like you said, Stockton really hasn't been the Stockton that he's been supposed to be. We'll see. Great game regardless. Exciting.
I'll never forgive Sark. He lost me a national championship by his crappy coaching and play calling. So I'll never forgive him while he was at Alabama, and then he went to Falcons, and then he came back because he got his pee slapped, and then he was here, and
Well, there's something to going to the NFL, failing, and then coming back to the SEC. Quite a few people have a very good record after that. So maybe Mike McDaniel should go apply to LSU or just go on and watch Gainesville, Who knows?
Well, I mean, even the greatest that ever did it went up to the big boys and decided he didn't like it up there very much and came on back down. So I think there might be something to that.
Yet?
Hey.
What? Did I say that out loud?
You stop that. You quit it. You stop. I'm going to need a sip here. You got my mouth dry thinking about that.
TDB.
You hush. He likes being an announcer. He likes talking about football now. He's fine. Miss Terry said no.
Miss Terry also said, how much they offering?
All right, I got
Lake Martin. Okay.
No, I can't. We got to move on before you get too deep in that. I'm not listening anymore. You're saving talk. He's going to retire and stay retired, and he's just that's how it is. Y'all got your national championship out of him. That's all you're getting. Okay, Saban's done. Miss Terry said so.
Hey.
No. All right, let's get into the last big game here.
We breaking up over there?
Yeah, no. BYU, man. They got their stuff pushed in last week, and I gotta say, I enjoyed watching it because I called them to get their stuff pushed in because I didn't think they were quite as good as everybody was preaching them up to be. Yes, they have a very good offense. Yes, they can score points. They are very fast, but size-wise, them boys in Texas are big. And now you got another Texas team coming to your house. I do think that BYU is going to win the game. I'll go ahead and say that. I think BYU wins. But them Horny Toads, they big. They big. They're some big boys. And that speed might run into another wall here. So I don't think it's going to be any kind of blowouts or anything like that. I think BYU is going to win this game. I think they cover the spread. And I do think it's going to be over. Oh, have we gotten tighter?
Yeah. The spread is down to a 3.5 point spread, and the over/under they adjusted down as well to 50. So that might change your perspective on some things there. I will say with the line going down, my money's leaning towards the Horned Frogs keep BYU from covering. I'm not going to say that they come out here with a absolute victory, but I think there might be something to it.
Well, they've shown some pops this year. TCU's pissed a couple people off, and they played good football at times. So I don't expect them to come out here and shock the world. If the line has gone down and the over-under's gone down, that's a little iffy to me. Maybe they think it's going to be a little tighter than that, and it might be. But I still think BYU covers, and I still think we're going over. At some point, I think it's going to bust loose for them. Maybe it might be the fourth quarter when they finally need to get going. They score a couple touchdowns and just, put a button on it. But I don't think TCU has a chance of going all the way over there and winning. I just, I don't see it, man. And, you keep talking about that Jesuit money. They got some of that's over there at the BYUs. So
yeah. I want to say one thing. Both teams here still have to play Cincinnati.
Mm-hmm.
I think TCU goes up against yet another Texas team. They got Houston. So I don't think they're going anywhere. I'm not trying to be mean to you, Froggies, but I don't think they have a season. I don't think they have a postseason. I think that they are playing to get into a very good bowl game right now. And that means they have to win this one and one of the next ones. So Houston, Cincinnati, BYU. 2 of the 3 to make it relevant and to get something at the end of the season. Now, BYU, on the other hand, they have the luxury of being in the conference they are, playing against the people they've played against, and having a, hey, don't ruin everything, and here's your free pass. I think they got this game, Cincinnati, and then Central Florida afterwards. Central Florida, I think they've got handedly. This game in Cincinnati are the games they can mess up on. And I don't like them, so I hope they mess up.
What are you thinking, Risa?
Well, BYU showed me last week one thing that they can't block. So
it's important in football.
Yeah, it is. I mean, I do like them to win here. I think I agree with what y'all are saying. I like them to win, but I like it to be a close win. So, I just don't see where TCU could upset them here today. Maybe they do, but I wouldn't call for it today.
Mm-mm. No. I think, I think you're right. I think it is going to be a good game, and the fact that line's tightened up, I think they're telling us it's going to be a good game. So we'll see how it pans out in the wash there. But I think BYU wins, and I think they're still making a push to the playoffs, just like everybody else thinks they are. So we'll see. You guys got any other games you want to touch on real quick, or is there anything you want to add? Because we're getting to the back end of our segment here.
We didn't talk about the Tennessee game. I wanted to reevaluate that one real quick because there might be something there, we'll say.
Huh. Okay. Do tell.
Well, I will say this one right here, over under 61.5 points.
It went up.
Right?
Wow.
The line now is 40.5. I'm not saying New Mexico State is going to come and pull an upset or anything at all. So I want to go ahead and preface all this. That being said, it seems like maybe everybody put money on Tennessee, so they're just trying to see how far they can push that out and get dummies to keep throwing money on the Vols. Mm-hmm. I think this has absolutely now become a game that I would step away from. If you haven't locked anything in, do not put anything in on this because that's just a very big spread, a very, very big spread. And if we're looking at Tennessee, they have a hot shot quarterback who has been allowed to shine after the person in front of him moved to the Bruins and doing what he's doing over there now. But I mean, they've put up big points on Syracuse, ETSU, other teams that you don't even know who they are or what they're doing. I don't know. This is a game where I'm curious if you still think they are going to cover that line.
No, to your point, I've got this as a forget game in big bold letters. This was absolutely not a bet game for me. I think I've touched on that pretty hard in the pregame or the live pick show. I didn't think they were going to cover the 39.5. I don't think they're going to cover 40.5. And then over under is just silly. So I wouldn't bet a penny on this game. Like I said, the other Aggies might come in here and actually try to give them a football game. And by no means do I think Tennessee's going to lose, but when you start throwing around this kind of points, even in a game like this, it's got trap written all over it for me. So somebody's trying to do this.
Well, they're looking at the previous games because if you're looking at the total points for Tennessee games on average, they are absolutely above that over-under number. I mean, you're looking at a team that when they step on the field, 70 points are going up. They're not putting up 70 points every time, although they did against ETSU, but at least 70 points are coming from both teams on the field. And I think that is enticing enough that somebody sees this, they're going to still keep throwing money at it. And I'm not saying it's out of the realm of possibilities. I'm just saying absolutely this is the forget it game of the week. For me, this is if you're forced to bet on every single game but one, this is the one that you do not bet on. So Tennessee's going to win by 80 because I said that.
What do you think, Risa?
Yeah, I agree with you. When you start putting it up that high on the line, I think that's just a recipe for failure. So, yeah, I wouldn't touch that either. I really, out of the list here, I'm really more focused on the USC-Iowa game. I think if USC doesn't beat Iowa today, it's going to put a lot of pressure on Lincoln Riley.
You ain't told a lie.
Mm-hmm.
And they're both teams that have been consistently inconsistent this season, I
Yeah.
will say, in terms of what they're putting out there.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was capable of pulling that upset, though. So
I would like
we'll
to see that. But once again, that game, let me double check. Yeah. Oh, the ticket prices on that game did go up to a whopping $28.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Wild.
that's a little wonky, man. Just I just seen ticket prices that low for some of these big games. Just weird.
I know. And USC, they've got Iowa. They've still got Oregon and UCLA. It's
a
I
stretch.
don't know. Iowa's got USC, Michigan State, and I think Nebraska's the other one. These teams, they need to win if they want to be relevant, but unfortunately, their relevancy will be forced. Let's be real.
Yep. Well, if you guys don't have anything else to add, I think this is a good spot to put a button on it. I want to throw a shout out to my wife. We have greeted our new baby boy this week. It's been a hell of a week. I'm wore out. I'm running on fumes, but she did a great job. We got a happy, healthy baby, happy, healthy mama. We're all home now. I appreciate you guys being with us. Rista, dude, this has been Sports Ball Talk. This has been your pregame show. I appreciate you guys being with us. And check in on Tuesdays. We do our live picks. See you next time.
See you later.